So SpongeBob is getting a lot of attention on this channel, and I really do like SpongeBob. SpongeBob is one of my favorite cartoons of all time, especially when it comes to a lot of the cartoons that I watched as a kid. So I basically wanted to take the opportunity here today and talk about my favorite SpongeBob episode. And there's a lot of episodes that I could choose from, but I wanted to talk about this specific episode because this was the episode that meant to me the most when it comes to how much I laughed, how many memories I have watching it. So we're going to be talking about this episode. And if you guys have any thoughts on this episode, let me know in the comments. If you guys want to share what your favorite SpongeBob episodes and tell me why, let me know in the comments as well. But let's get straight into this bad boy. So when it comes to my favorite episode of SpongeBob, I feel like pizza delivery is one of those episodes that just instantly comes to mind for me. And that's mainly because of how much I actually enjoy watching it every single time. Like, no matter how many times I go back to it, it never really feels old to me. And I think that says a lot about how good this episode actually is, because there were a lot of episodes in the series that are funny, but not all of them hit the same way every time you watch them. And this one definitely does that for me. And I think a big part of it comes down to just how simple the concept of the episode is. Because when you really break it down, it's literally just SpongeBob and Squidward going on a mission to deliver a pizza. That's it. But at the same time, it never feels boring or dragged out because of everything that happens in between that journey. And that's what really keeps the episode engaging from start to finish. Another thing that stands out to me is the fact that this all starts at the Krusty Krab, because when you think about that place, you automatically think about Krabby Patties. That's the main thing that they're known for. So seeing Mr. Krabs randomly decide that he wants to make a pizza and have SpongeBob and Squidward go out and deliver it just feels so unexpected, but in a good way, because it immediately sets the tone for the kind of episode you're about to watch. And that's really what makes this episode stand out to me overall, because it takes everything so simple and turns it into something that's actually really fun to watch. And from the very beginning, you already know you're in for something different compared to the usual formula. I think that's what makes it stick with me as much as it does. One of the biggest reasons why I like this episode so much is because of how much focus there is on SpongeBob and Squidward throughout the entire thing. Because it's really just the two of them going back and forth the whole time, and that dynamic is always entertaining to watch no matter what situation they're in. Like, you already know how Squidward is when it comes to SpongeBob. He always gets annoyed, he's always frustrated, and that never really changes. But at the same time, that's exactly what makes their interaction so funny, because SpongeBob is just being himself the entire time, and Squidward is reacting to that in the way that he always does. I feel like this episode really takes advantage of that dynamic, because it puts them in a situation where they're just stuck together for the entire journey. So you're constantly seeing those moments play out, and it never really slows down either. There's always something happening between them that keeps things interesting. That's why I feel like their chemistry is such a big part of why this episode works so well, because if it was just one of them by themselves, it would not hit the same way. But having both of them together the entire time just makes every scene feel more entertaining, and that's something I always appreciate when I go back and watch it. When it comes to the actual moments in this episode, I feel like this is where it really starts to shine, because there are just so many scenes that are actually funny, and it's not just one specific part either. It's pretty much the entire episode from beginning to end. And one of my favorite parts has to be when they're out there and SpongeBob starts singing the Krusty Krab pizza song, like, the Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me, and he just keeps going with it over and over again, and Squidward is just getting more and more annoyed as it keeps happening, and that whole interaction right there is just hilarious to me. And that's really what makes this episode so funny overall, because it's not just relying on one joke or one moment, it's constantly giving you something to laugh at, whether it's the dialogue, the situations they end up in, or just the way the characters react to everything that's happening. And when it comes to the ending of this episode, I feel like this is another big reason why I like it so much as I do, because after everything that SpongeBob and Squidward go through just to deliver that pizza, they finally make it to the customer's house. And you would think that's where everything wraps up nicely, but instead the guy ends up complaining about the pizza being cold, which makes sense because of how long it took them to get there. But then it doesn't even stop there, because SpongeBob realizes that they forgot the drink. Actually, not SpongeBob. The customer realizes that they forgot the drink, the Diet Dr. Kelp, and that's really what sets everything off. And SpongeBob actually gets upset about that, which is something that stands out, because he really wanted to make sure everything was done right. And when that didn't happen, you could tell it bothered him, and it felt like that moment adds a little bit more to the episode beyond just the comedy. But when you get to that moment with Squidward, where even though he's annoyed the entire time, he sees how SpongeBob feels and he actually steps in and does something about it. And the way that he handles it is by going up to the guy and throwing the pizza in his face. It is just the perfect way to end the episode because it's funny, but it also shows that Squidward does care in his own way. And if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, like, I lost count how many times I've watched this episode of SpongeBob because this really is my favorite episode. One of the reasons, of course, like I said, is the song, but it's also, everything that I talked about within this video when it came to my reasoning as to why this is my favorite SpongeBob episode. So if you guys have any thoughts on what I talked about here today, you guys have a favorite SpongeBob episode that you want to let me know about, let me know in the comments. We could talk about it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, be sure to check out my X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All the links are located in the description below, so be sure to follow me on there. Be sure to check out my Discord server. The link is pinned in the comments, so we can talk more about all the things that we love. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I'm dropping a new video on the channel. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.